A long time ago, in a small village in ancient China, there lived a quiet farmer. He didn't speak much. He didn't chase success, didn't try to impress the people around him. He simply did what was needed. And when there was nothing to do, he rested. One day, his only horse ran away. The villagers gathered around and said, "That's terrible, what bad luck?" The farmer shrugged and replied, "Maybe." The next day the horse returned, but this time it brought back 3 wild horses with it. Now the villagers said, "You're so lucky." The farmer smiled gently. "Maybe," he said again. A few days later, his son was thrown from one of the wild horses and broke his leg. The villagers gasped, "That's awful! What misfortune!" And again the farmer said softly, "Maybe." Then, weeks later, the emperor's soldiers came to the village, gathering young men to fight in a war. They passed by the farmer's son, leaving him behind because of his injury. The villagers now said, "How lucky you are." And the farmer, unchanged, simply said, "Maybe." No matter what happened, good or bad, fortune or misfortune, he never forced the moment. He never tried to control what came next. He just stayed with life. This story, even though it's ancient, holds something most of us forget in modern life. Always reacting, trying to fix, to plan, to push, to take control. But the farmer wasn't passive. He was present. He didn't give up. He just stopped living in resistance. And maybe that's what this video is about. Not giving up on life, but giving up on the belief that you need to control every single part of it. Because sometimes you've done all you can. You've tried. You've shown up. You've moved forward. And now it's time to just be. Like the farmer. Not because you're weak, but because you finally realize that peace comes when you stop wrestling with what already is. So maybe today isn't about fixing your path. Maybe it's about stepping off the battlefield and standing still in the middle of life. So maybe you've stopped rushing through your day. Maybe you've taken time to sit in silence, breathe, rest. Even when the body is still, the mind keeps running. You may look calm on the outside, but inside you're still trying to fix something, still trying to heal something, still chasing a better version of yourself. And that too is a kind of doing. You've swapped the job, the schedule, the to-do list for thoughts like, "I need to be more mindful. I have to raise my vibration. I should feel more peace by now." It's quiet, but it's still pressure, still striving, still holding yourself to a standard that says, "This version of me isn't enough yet." What if you've already arrived, but you're too busy measuring your progress to notice? This is what being really means, not just sitting still, but letting go of the need to always be changing something inside of you. It's not that healing is wrong, or growth, or awareness. But when those things become another way to control yourself, you end up right back where you started, chasing something that was never missing. You don't have to be more spiritual. You don't have to be more awakened. You don't have to raise your frequency every time you feel heavy. You're allowed to just be human, messy, still learning, still feeling, still figuring it out. And in that space where you stop pushing, something soft begins to rise. Not an achievement, not a breakthrough, just you, your presence, your stillness, your enoughness. And maybe that's the point. Maybe the biggest shift you'll ever feel doesn't come from doing more, but from the moment you finally stop running inside your own mind. You don't need to think your way into peace. You just need to stop arguing with the version of you that already is. In ancient China, there was a way of living that few understood. They called it Wu Wei, and it meant non-doing. But not laziness, not giving up. Wu Wei meant stop forcing. Let go of the fight. Let life move through you, like wind through a tree, soft, unresisted, powerful in its own quiet way. The Taoist sages would study nature. They watched how water flowed. Never aggressive, never tense, but still able to carve mountains over time. It didn't rush, it didn't hold back. It simply moved with what was. They believed that true wisdom wasn't about doing more, but about learning how to flow with the natural rhythm of life. And that rhythm? It's not found in chasing, it's found in presence, in allowing, in trusting that sometimes what's unfolding is exactly what's meant to. Wu Wei is knowing when to act and when to rest, when to move and when to simply be. And that's what we forget in today's world. We've replaced rhythm with urgency, flow with hustle. We've forgotten how to trust what's already happening. So maybe right now, you're not being asked to figure everything out. You're just being asked to stop interrupting what life is already trying to show you. Doing less isn't a weakness. And the more you stop forcing your life, the more it begins to move naturally, peacefully, like water finding its way home. In the spirit of the Taoist way, I'm not going to ask you to do more. This challenge isn't about discipline or effort or pushing harder. Instead, for the next 24 hours, let everything you do be guided by ease. When you move, move gently. When you speak, speak slowly. When you eat, eat fully present. And when there's nothing to do, don't fill the space. Let it be. This is the challenge. Try to live one day without forcing anything. Let conversations flow. Let your body rest when it wants to. Let life unfold without trying to shape it. If something doesn't go your way, don't chase it. If a thought rises, you don't wrestle it. If silence shows up, don't fear it. Instead, watch, breathe, flow like water. Because in that space of non-doing, you may find something your doing has always covered up. A quiet kind of power. That's been with you all along. If you're in this challenge, comment "flowing with ease" down below so I know you're walking this path too. And if this message brought you even one moment of peace today, share your experience in the comments or just say hi. Consider subscribing and letting this space be your reminder